In this video, we're gonna go from this background to this hopefully much better looking background in a tiny little trailer that right now I call home for a very important reason that I'm gonna get to after I show you how to do this with just a softbox light and an LED light. So enough talk from me, let's get rid of this horrible, ugly background, and then let's talk about why I'm recording videos inside of a trailer. The idea here is to control the lighting as much as I possibly can. So you can see me turning off the lights and working with the natural daylight as a canvas for me to paint my face onto. I want to make my face contrast against the background. If I can naturally make my face pop out from what's behind it without using a green screen, it's going to give that glossy and professional look to the video that we're really going for. And you only really need a couple tools for that. Okay, so this is what's called a softbox light, and what this does is it puts that soft, natural looking lighting on my, well, it's gonna be on my face, but it makes that soft, natural looking lighting. The reason we want it to be soft lighting is because if I have any kind of flaws on my face, which in my case I have one or two, we don't want the shadows of the things on my face to highlight them and point them out, right? So this softbox light does a really good job of evenly lighting up my face without putting any big shadows on any one part. So where I'm gonna put this is gonna be 45 degrees to the side and then 45 degrees up. So for me, it's gonna be about this height, ideally maybe a little higher, but I can't angle this one down on my face. So because of that, I'm compensating by not making it as high up. And then of course 45 degrees over. So it's gonna be, the lens is right here, the light is gonna be right at that direction. So that's where I just pulled this from. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that back, and then I'm gonna tell you about something called a hair light. Again, the biggest thing here is that it's 45 degrees to the side and 45 degrees above your head. Okay, so now that I have this back, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on so that way you can see what it looks like just with this alone. Keep in mind, I do have this window back here, which does already kind of add a little bit of light that I'm gonna want, of a hair light, but not quite. So for now, just look at this and notice the difference. All right, so already you can see a huge improvement in the way that this looks. It's that kind of warm, almost natural looking lighting. And like I said, there's not any harsh shadows on my face. So if it was something like an LED light, which I'll get to in a minute, and it was really bright right on my face, it's gonna look funky. I'm gonna try and show you with my phone here. So look at this wrinkle here, for example. Because this light is so harsh, anytime that part of my face is like that, it's gonna look a lot more, it's gonna look like a deeper wrinkle, right? Whereas if we move that away, it's still there because it's my face and I'm moving my face, right? But it's not as highlighted. You'll notice from about here down, it gets a lot darker with the light. So now you can see it comes all the way down here. We don't want that. We just want that normal, even softbox lighting. The other thing we need is a hair light. So like I said, this window is already kind of acting as a hair light, but you'll notice as I come over here that my hair kind of tends to blend in with this chunk of wood right here. So I'm gonna set up that hair light, and then I'll explain to you why this is so important and why I'm doing this in the first place. So this is the hair light I'm going to be using. I already have this set up because admittedly this is the second time I shot this video. The first time the footage was no good, it corrupted or something. I actually had a whole cleaning montage and all of that, but for now, that's not really important. It's just the lights that are important for those of you who are watching because they're interested in learning how to do this in a tiny space. But this LED light, I'm going to turn it on. Pretty bright. I'm not going to point it right. Actually, I'll point it right at the camera. So very, very, very bright. What this does is it shines on the back of my head to help separate me from the background. So as a very extreme example, if I hold it right here, you can see right on my hair, it like outlines me, right? So obviously it's not going to be right there. It's going to be a little bit further away because I don't want to look like a psychopath that is magically highlighted. But that's generally what we're looking at, is that nice lighting. Now that I'm sitting here, you can see that nice, warm, soft lighting on my face that highlights me and doesn't get on the background. That's an important part. And then you can also see the hair light is actually a little, it's not as behind me as it should be. It's probably like right here, just with more distance. You can tell because it's shining on that cheekbone. I like to think I was blessed with nice cheekbones. Even if I'm not, I kind of like the way this looks, where it shows that there's a shadow here, right? So it makes me look cooler than I really am. And that's the magic of lighting. So that then begs the question, of why am I doing all this. So this isn't the first one of these videos that I've posted, but it is the first one where it looks like I actually am trying to set something up. I'm wearing the company shirt, I have my hair up all nice, the lighting looks decent, the camera looks, I like to think, pretty good. And the reason for that is because my company is finally at a point where it makes sense for me to create content consistently. So before, I was making occasional updates because there wasn't really anything interesting going on. So what that means is once every month or two, I'd make a video updating some of the big things that happened, but there wasn't very many things happening at all. This last month, we went from 3K revenue to 12K revenue. So although that's world-changing for me, it's not necessarily world-changing for other people who maybe have been more successful, but it is a significant enough difference for new people or maybe inexperienced people to see that this is something that's that actually is turning a good result. Whereas before, I didn't really have any proof. I knew that the skills I was learning and the things I was doing were going to lead to that financial success eventually, but they hadn't yet. So I had no way to show that, which means the audience has no reason to watch, and rightfully so, because why would you listen to some 21-year-old who has no money tell you how to make money, right? That doesn't make sense. And that's fair enough. I mentioned that in some of the old videos. So the point of these videos is to show my journey every step of the way. It's just now every step of the way takes less time because more happens in a smaller amount of time, which means there's more stuff to make content about. So that means I'm going to be making videos about all kinds of business related things and updating the camera and eventually building an audience more than the like 100 subscribers I have. All of the videos I'm going to be making are going to be talking about the challenges I'm coming across in business, how I'm overcoming them, how I'm balancing them with like my normal life, right? Work-life balance. I do think that's important to an extent. Yeah, I don't know exactly what every single video is going to be about, but you know, I might make a video where I'm talking to the camera while I'm training MMA as I do, or you know, maybe I'll be out and about recording a client and I'll be talking to the camera. I don't quite want to call it a vlog because I feel like that's a term that's misused now. It's a vlog in the traditional sense in which I'm talking to the camera and updating it on what's going on. It's not a vlog in the sense that I'm walking around talking to a camera in public where everybody can see me and I look like a fool. So if you happen to have watched this video so far, even if there's only like 3 views, please let me know something that you would want to see that's related to this type of thing. Even if you aren't sure whether or not it's related to this type of thing, just comment down below so I have some kind of idea what people are interested in. I'm going to do a little bit of research on my own too, but obviously the best feedback I can get is direct feedback directly from people who are interested in the thing that I'm posting about. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and quit rambling. I have a tendency to do that. Hope you like the new setup. Hope you learned a thing or two about how you can set up in a tiny little space. You literally just need that softbox light at the 45-degree angle, 45-degree up, and then a hair light. Ideally, if you can get some kind of LED light right here, maybe that has some kind of color on the other side of your face right here, that looks cool, but ultimately it looks like this is all you really need. So until next time, which will be a lot sooner than the time between the last video and this one, yeah, subscribe and leave a comment down below, I guess.